Okay. Good morning. Afternoon, yes. For most US people, it's going to be morning, though, as we are on EST. It is just now noon o'clock. So for all y'all of the people who are not in the US EST, good morning. For us EST folk, good afternoon. Hello. I'm gonna go ahead and, it's been a few days since I've played, and so I'm actually gonna take these 5 minutes or so here just to kind of review my factory for myself. So I can keep in mind, I'll restart the save, just to save some time. But I wanted to go through my factory and just double check where I was, what I was doing, etc. You know, stuff like that. So I'm just gonna give it a minute here. Just gonna look through, look around, get myself set up over here on my end. I think my grocery delivery should be here soon. And yep, looks like they just got here, so perfect timing. But right now, we have a space platform that's basically untouched. It's fine. We have oil, looks like it's moving fine. We have stockpiles. Rabbit is trying to climb in my chair. Plastic production looks good. Coal stockpiles are large. Alright, let me go take care of this here grocery order, then we'll get everything else sorted and get started. groceries and stuff. I had one other setup thing here on my side. Okay, so I got that set up, so I can actually see him on another screen over here. So the delay. I'm kind of feeling like maybe it's not showing the full quality here for y'all. I feel like it could be looking better. Shoot for a higher bit rate, maybe like 8,000? See if that makes a difference at all. I think it may. It should theoretically. Well, if we start seeing any buffering or because of my internet or something like that, but we should be good. Hypothetically. So, as a review of the factory, before we start really diving in, this is mostly for me, just for the record, because it's been a few days since I played, and I don't know if y'all can remember everything you did every time you played Factorio ever after leaving for multiple days, but I cannot do that. Nuclear power is up and moving. That's good. We can probably completely eradicate the steam turbines here, which was one of the goals as I was trying to reduce my pollution footprint. So honestly, we could even just go... Bye-bye. Bye-bye. To all that. That's good. So that's gonna be one of the first things I'll do. I'll restart the save here shortly, because I'm just gonna making sure I know what I'm doing here. Yep. We're still producing 210 even with the, with just nuclear, so we should have plenty of power to expand into. Which is good. We're doing good on iron input. It should be fine. That iron is turning into steel, which is good. And it looks like it's fully going, so that's a decent steel input, it looks like. Pretty happy with that. This iron deposit is also being used for steel, but a bit of an odder manner, I suppose. Why is this moving at the speed of a level 1 belt? Because it is level 1 belt, okay. Got it. So that copper is there, it's moving. How's this iron looking? It's coming in, getting dropped off, that's what that is, okay. Wait, this iron hasn't been brought in yet, so we're gonna fix that pretty early on. The question is, how many belts do we have? 384 in the system. Okay. Looks pretty good to me. I definitely think the largest problem here right now is definitely going to be iron. Are we stockpiling iron or copper plates? We are stockpiling iron plates, not copper. Okay, you know, that's interesting. So if we're stockpiling iron plates in bulk, why the hell are we not making a bunch of level 2 belt? What seems to be the holdup here? Oh, it's full. Oh, well, that's entirely on me, isn't it? We're definitely gonna give them more bandwidth because we're gonna need a lot of this shit. That's the exact reason why. I can't believe that's been bottlenecking me for so long. It's actually so unfortunate. Okay. Well, that fixes that. Okay. Purple science is already being made, and we have a solid stockpile of it, which is good. Blue science actually seems to be lagging behind everything else. It looks like it's just an engine production issue. Engines are probably being made at full capacity, it's just slow. My steel stockpiling, pipes, gear wheels, yep, so everything actually looks good there. They just need more bandwidth, so we'll just give them an extra row or something like that. Okay, so yeah, the main things I want to address immediately upon starting back up again... Oh, I actually have more copper being made down here. Okay, good. That's solid, I guess. Did I ever cap these? I didn't. That's funny. Alright, no wonder I have, like, a million from... Okay, sure. That'll let us start stockpiling this copper, which will be needed. So, okay, the main things I did... I'm gonna reload the save here, because I had AFK and all that, so let's go to autosave. Let's actually start playing L game. Remove this. Remove this. That goes away, that goes away. We're gonna go ahead and remove our throttle, our capacity. We're gonna double up our capacity to hold level 2 belt, so we can actually store more. Which is looking pretty good. We're going to also start making more engines. It's just clear to me that we are not making them fast enough for multiple things. I'm actually gonna take this copy and paste because it actually requests more, because like that 242 is just not enough. Cool. Alright. That should hopefully fix that. The next thing on the list is I need to get this... Oh, it was still being built. Let's see. Alright. Let's start heading up there. I'll do that myself. Let's give these guys an extra bit of power here. Nuclear power is definitely going to be keeping us on the move, which is good. Once these copper pipes get built, we just connect this. There. Those heat pipes may take a while to get there, but that'll happen eventually, so that's good. They can also clean this up as well, because that looks gross. Delete, delete, delete. Same with all that. Get rid of some of these trees, clear up some space. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start clearing up some room here, because we'll probably use this space fairly soon. And clean this up a little bit for us here. Cool, they'll take care of that. Next thing we're gonna want to do, they're gonna start building this here shortly. Yeah, here they all come to start building that, so that'll be done. And when that gets done, what we're gonna have them do is we're gonna have them... Alright, I need to do one more thing as well. And I know it can be maybe a little bit disorienting here, and I apologize, but at the end of the day, whenever you're running robot-level factories that are this large, running around on foot in as your character is just significantly less efficient than just dealing with things in the factory from wherever the hell it is you're standing. So I apologize if it's a little jarring having the camera move around so suddenly and erratically a lot of the time, but that's unfortunately just one of the things about robots that makes them as powerful as they are, right? Is that factory management is such a more global thing, right? I don't have to be there to make the changes I want to make, which is ultimately ideal, right? But it can definitely make for a slightly harder viewing experience, and I apologize for that. Let's get all this in. Alright, sorry I had to sneeze there. Let's go ahead and run this down, run this down. I'm gonna kind of make like maybe a slightly larger setup here for bringing in iron ore. This looks gross, to be honest. Let's just do this. Let's rework the way that we're doing this here. I don't like that. I'm tempted just to let them run at whatever speed it is. I'm not trying to get full belts. It's not super relevant if the belts are full or not, to be honest. Oh, it makes me kind of want to move this petroleum because it's kind of in the way of my little belt factory thing I got going here, my little belt thing. Kind of weird, but right there. I bet I can just go 1, 2... Can I actually put a 5 here? 2, 4, 5. Yes, I can. Okay. Alright, cool. And then, honestly, this is whenever we'll break it off and let them start to do their own thing here. So I need to split... Well, right now, do we even have anything coming down the middle? The middle one? We should. We should have something coming down all belts. Yeah, okay, cool. So we're gonna do... Because, I mean, this will start working. Yeah, it's already starting to come down. Perfect, okay. So what we're gonna do is we're going to, I guess, have a section here of going 1, 2, 3. I don't think that's gonna work because it's an odd number. Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. What we can do is, I'm not really good at this whole belt splitting thing when it comes to, like, multiple runs and keeping things even like this, just for the record. I have no idea what to do. But that's part of the fun of Factorio, is figuring shit out, huh? You know, we're gonna remove this whole section. I have a plan. I think it's gonna be doable with even numbers, but not odds. So we'll go 1. I don't know what this is doing. Don't ask. I don't know if it works or if it even is sensible in any way, shape, or form. We're gonna have to just figure it out. I have a feeling this may get us where we want to be. I have no idea. But we can also, I guess, do like splits all the way down the corners here. I don't know if that's gonna work, but we'll see. I'm gonna go help them build it because I have a bunch of level 2 belts on me and my roboport. So that's gonna help that out. And then from there, we need to start working on getting a few other pretty important tasks done. I do actually start need to be building a rocket. I think the main thing I want to start working on next, actually, now that I say that, we probably should have a copper excess? No? We're still using every bit of copper we're making? That's astonishing. How are we using all of the copper we're making? We're not even making that many copper wires right now. What's our consumption rate? Literally the same number. 3.8? 3.8, what the hell? Interesting. Interesting. I mean, I can grab from that copper. I need to start building this out here, this wall. I can grab that copper there. I can probably push further out and grab that copper. Right now, at the end of the day, our next primary set of objectives is just expansion and resource collection. Those are the next major tasks. And yeah, see like we have a problem. I feel like we have a problem here. It's not actually moving at the full speed that it should be. And that's a pain. It's because it's splitting it, right? And I understand that. I just don't really know how to fix this. Alright, boys. Alright, let's get rid of it. I think we do like output priority right, the underground here, and we just kind of like output priority left actually would be the thing there. Output priority left, and just like copied this, pasted it pretty much everywhere. Like that's where I want to be. I put it here. Yeah, I know. At the end of the day, I don't really care how it gets done. I just want to have 2 full belts, and I think that gets us there. As dumb as it looks, and as dumb as it probably is, I think it gets us there. Oh, for fuck's sake. That's not gonna work. But it does work for every other row, I think. Well, except for these 2, I guess. Well, this row doesn't... Actually, that's not even a swill, so that's okay. It's literally just that one. That's fine. I can have this row entirely just dedicate its entire livelihood to this process. That's okay with me. I should have 2 full belts of iron though going through, and everything else should be still push throughable. So like all the belts are moving. That's all I really care about. Because if they're moving, then theoretically I should be able to grab them elsewhere. But I want this belt right here to have priority the whole time, because it does stop here. I want the input priority from the left. I want this one to always be the primary choice. Output priority obviously goes to the right. Input priority to the left. And that should cause some other ones to back up, which is totally fine. But this one, I need this one to be constantly moving, and it looks like we definitely accomplished that. And we have what seems to be a full belt. Very good, very good, very good. Okay. A task accomplished, I think, then, yeah? Next bit. How much stone do I actually have stored? I have a lot. Landfill. Thinking landfill. That's what's on my mind right now, is I want to fill that shit up. I'm not gonna build it down here. I'm actually gonna build it further up. I don't want to, like... completely screw over my factory's logistics for like 10 minutes straight. We're just going to put it in a new system here. We're just going to set it up for landfill in particular, because landfill takes a ton of stone, and it's going to require a lot of moving those items. And so I want to have this at least fairly close to these chests that are now currently holding stone. So that's like right now it's going to put an offer for 2,000 stone. Holy shit, we do not want that. 500 is more than enough, my friend. I mean, we have the robot capacity to tell them to do that, but that is not what we want to be doing here. In fact, I can probably take it even lower to like 300 maybe. Oh, I need to copy. Oh, fuck. Wait, no. You know what? Just... Everyone stop. Everyone stop what you're doing. Alright, that canceled those pending orders. Holy, that was almost a disaster. I think all of our robots are taken up now because of that, aren't they? Yeah, they are. Every robot from everywhere in the whole factory got summoned for that. That's funny. That is really funny. How's our power doing now that we just experienced that? We definitely had a spike because of that, oopsie. That's funny. Alright, cool. Yeah, this landfill, I do want to fill this in, because I actually want to put in a smelting array here, so that's kind of why I did this. I do want a whole ass... a whole thing. Fill this in, basically. Right there, right there. That'll do. It'll take them a while to probably get this, but that's just how this process goes, to be honest. And we will run out of stone very quickly, but that'll at least get this queued. But it also lets us simulate, and this is one thing I wanted to do as well, to stress test power. Right, look at that. We're using 200 megawatts. That is far beyond what we're currently producing, which is a problem for sure. That being said, how much capacity do we actually have? This doesn't have an input. That makes sense. Let's fix that. Also, just... Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 27. Definitely produce more than that. These guys just don't have enough steam, actually. It's funny. Not burning enough. There's not enough steam in the system for them to burn until I add more for them. Okay. Which I'm doing right now, so that shouldn't be a problem. That should take care of power for a bit. This should honestly, on its own, really square away power in general. How are we doing on these centrifuges? Are they getting full yet? They still have a long way to go. Okay. Good to know. Once those get placed, we'll start to have a lot more, even more steam. You'll see our power cap should be pretty hard. Because it was at 140. That 140 was actually exclusively just because there wasn't enough steam. So, oh, now you guys go to charge? Fuck you. That's funny. Actually, like... these are all... I can just, like, submit it. Doesn't really matter where I put them at the end of the day. As long as they connect to their friends. Because all the steam is flowing. Alright, Alright, that should get power sorted. I don't think we'll have any more power problems for a while. Once these have to get back to temp because they got reintroduced as to a new system there, but we definitely have, like, this is 480 megawatts potential. So realistically, we need to be running, you know, 48 boilers. We're running 40 now, so that should be a lot of power. That's 400 megawatts. We shouldn't have to worry about that for a while now, which is good. Next, moving on to from that, we need to start getting this. Actually, the iron's already coming down, right? Why is only one of them working? Right. Okay, that fixes that. Alright, that iron production then should be solid. And in that case, I think the next thing I was actually going to be needing was stone, but one thing I really need to do next right now is actually I need to start... And I will use the robots to do this in a slower way than I should, but I'm also going to be doing this in multiple places and multiple times. So we're going to drop Roboport here, here. Actually, I already have them pasted there. Actually, I don't even need these, so that's good. I just need the initial connectors, so one there. That's a bit overkill, but it's just because the radar coverage isn't there and it's annoying. That's okay. And then, of course, we're going to have to run this north, right, which is a pain, but we'll deal with that whenever it comes to it. But that should take care of that side there. Next side I have to worry about. I would like to clear this. I do want to actually clear this out entirely of aliens and just establish my presence there entirely. But the thing is, this is mostly iron and oil, which isn't really what I'm struggling for right now. It's this copper, which, honestly, I might just... Gimme. Actually, gimme. I'm gonna go take care of those. This expansion needs to be done sooner. This copper needs to hit the system sooner rather than later, for sure. Also gonna take this. Copy. I do not have the room for another one here. I will here once this is done. I actually have another room. I have the room for it over here, though. I want to put it over here. It's not a terrible spot. Where to put this? I think here would definitely not be bad. This is actually getting built fairly quickly, so... let them build what they can. Actually, before we dedicate to that, that's the way I want it. Yep, right there. That way the belts are moving that way. No, I don't like... That's fine. But this one needs to go. This one. It should give us 2 belts that I like. Full belts, theoretically. It should condense all of the rest of everything else that was there, because we have like one... Yeah, we should have all of them coming through now once that gets built. Here shortly. Because, I mean, right now all of it's kind of getting tossed out, yeah. 1. Here's 2. Not quite full, but... But we want to make sure that we're not having any ores get stuck anywhere. No one's getting, like, slowed. Because ultimately, right, like, We should have a straight flow. We don't have four full belts, so we shouldn't see anywhere getting stuck or like stopped because they don't have anywhere to go. I think this was pretty solid though. That should be fine. Alright, once that stone... I'm actually gonna go help these guys. How much stone is actually in the system right now? 7,000? I can help with that. Let me just... I need to clear some inventory space, it looks like. Fuck off! I don't care about the ammo. Someone come take all these items from me. I don't really care where y'all put them. Just put them somewhere. I want to help with the stone moving. Because a lot of my robots are being taken up right now just by the simple fact that this stone needs to be moved. So let's see if we can't help them with that. Oh, actually? Whoa. Whoa. Oh, I think I see the actual problem. Alright, my bad, my bad, my bad. And the real problem is that we don't actually have bulk inserters here. Actually, maybe that's not the problem. But theoretically, it could be. Why is this one still sitting at 2k? I thought I set them all to 500. That's okay. Alright, let's fix that. There we go. That should fix that. I mean, ultimately, the main objective here is I want to get this built out as fast as I can. And the best way to do that is to just make sure the stone is where it needs to be. Because landfill is incredibly fast to craft, it's just incredibly resource dense. Unfortunate. But I think this might be the end of this era of having the robots move this stone. I don't think there's going to be enough to do this for a while. Or rather, they're going to start slowing down and just taking everything they can get. I mean, stone is a pretty shit resource. I'm actually gonna cancel... Can I just... Is this gonna decon all this? It is. That's okay. You know what? That's fine. It's gonna decon. We'll fill the rest of that in later. And we can just go ahead and... That should be enough to get us where we need to be. Back to what I was going to be doing. I'm going to go start expanding the southern front. I need to get out here. I need to get the roboports built out to there. The robots are building them on their own, and eventually they will connect that up. But it takes them a while to get down there, and I want to speed this process up a little bit because that copper deposit could be pretty useful to me. Because right now, I am not storing any... Actually, I have extra copper right now. Oh shit, nice. Well, here's the problem. Because I'm about to fix that, right? Here's the most resource-intensive thing that we're going to be putting in the factory for a while. Low-density structure. This thing is a bitch. And it will eat a lot of my copper. And I need a lot of them as well. And I mean a lot of them. So, That's going to be moving, which is going to require plastic, steel, copper in bulk. We're going to see that start being made, though, which is important. We definitely want that. How many efficiency modules we got later? Actually, quite a few. How's our pollution? Actually, I kind of forgot about that bit. I know I was reducing my pollution significantly. I was trying to, anyway. I think we're actually doing pretty alright in that aspect. Huh? Not perfect, but I can actually fix that. I did want to try reducing my pollution. I don't want the aliens to attack me at any point. Getting attacked by the aliens, especially like if it's a large force and I don't catch it, can be like easily like an hour or like a 20 to 30 minute setback. I'd like to avoid that. Easiest way to avoid that is just don't let them attack you by either killing them up front, which is something I'm about to start working on, but even then later in the gameplay. This is going to be like, we still have 30 hours left in this playthrough in the long term, right? Which means that there is definitely ample time for them to expand and then start hitting me over the head, which we don't want. So, definitely not going to allow that to happen. Best way to make sure that doesn't happen is to make sure you're not producing enough pollution for it to happen to begin with. Right? And the mining drills produce a ton of pollution, so you want to make sure that you know, don't produce a ton of pollution with those. You can do that with Efficiency 1 modules. Efficiency 1 modules are very cheap, and they will also save me a lot of power as well, which is good to have that in my pocket. I keep getting distracted from my task at hand. I really need to go south and mess with my shit, so... Boom, 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 boom. But we will definitely see a decrease in my pollution whenever this happens, for sure. That consumption spike whenever I put in the request, but yeah, pollution. There's that electric mining drill pollution. And of course, you can see, like, we peaked around, like, 4,000. And we're going to be bringing it down pretty far here. We're already down to 2,700 for a while there. Furnaces spiked. I took the boilers to 0, and that was a large amount of my pollution. Assembling machines are going to be a lot too, but I'm planning on putting efficiencies in those as well in the long term, but for now, I don't have that quantity yet. And they're most efficiently used with the mining drills, so that'll do for now. Look at them go. They're building this out. Anyway, moving on. Let's go assist in the expansion of the factory here for once, instead of just sitting on our ass and doing nothing. Telling everyone else to do everything for us. Is that a rock? Bro, there's a rock behind that tree. I just suck. But even just by driving through here and just... Oh my god, dude. I need to drive, like, in first fucking person, basically. Even just driving through here, though, and getting them to put down these roboports will be a huge help. Because then they'll start to come and fill up everything else. The roboports are the longest part. Just because, you know, they have to get out here, and they only have the range of that last roboport that was placed, so it can be a bit tough. So that's why I wanted to come down here and do it myself, because I can move my roboport with me, because I have a mobile one, so this will be easier for... There's a copper deposit I'd like, but it's a bit open. We'll deal with that later. This is the grab for now. I think my sights currently are set on this one and then this one. This area down here will be really good to take, and it's going to be fairly easy to do. I would just need to get down there, start working on it. But once this roboport gets placed and hooks up the system, you guys will see they'll just build everything else for me, so I don't have to worry. And there it goes. Everything is getting filled in. Great news. This is good news. Now what we'll do is we'll just copy and paste it one more time going north. So... They'll come out here, they'll build these walls for me. That should get that sorted. But I gotta make sure that these roboports actually get placed, or at least get queued to get placed. Those are getting done. Cool. Moving on, next section. This music just reminds me of House of Cards. Actually, I'm gonna have to connect these up to the other systems. Let's go ahead and start queuing that. Or not queuing that, I'll be doing that. But... that should be fine. I don't need another one there. Right? Yeah, it should be fine. Great. We will manually build this out for now. Give them the ability to get out here sooner. Every time we do that, we see this huge queuing of all these, what's it called? All these, like, walls getting placed. And this way, also, because there's going to be RoboPort access out here on this front, if, for some reason, I do get attacked, or when I get attacked, they will rebuild the wall after the crisis is over. Which is very important to the longevity of a factory. Speaking of which, on landfill, how is this here? Functional, perfect. Good, 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 very good, yes, very good. Iron production has been bumped then. This wall is getting built, it's just taking time. Not super surprising. It's going to be a really big struggle for them, especially here, because they don't really have anywhere to charge between point A and B, and so it's going to take them a while to build this because of that. That's pretty standard. So what you can actually do is you can just even, like, just give them a path to go. Alright, let's get in my car. Let's move. This wall should be built. I can start exploiting the copper that's here, and that should get me... Is the car all the way down there? That should make my life. There's a giant fort. Oh, come on. Yeah, see, they needed a place to charge. Look at them all. They're all so tired. My robots are so sleepy. That's okay. We'll get them taken care of. We'll get them a place to rest. This just gives them a way to actually make it out here in a timely manner, because they will just go... They try to make a direct path, they'll fail. Once they start to run low on battery, they path directly to the closest roboport. Which can be a little problematic at times, especially with these larger, more sprawling bases, right? But it's to be expected. Now they have a much closer to home place to go charge, because, you know, if they come out here, it's going to be a struggle, right? But there's that, which is good. That means that now, theoretically, I can just go... Alright, there. I'll go donate to the cause where I can, and then we should be good in this area to just leave it be. I actually have to get the copper back home first, right? But once that's home, then we should be good for a while. I'm just gonna put the roboports down here, because once the roboports are down, realistically, it just kind of builds itself. But I'll let my robots build what they can, to be honest, of what I have on hand. Might as well. I have the stuff on me. The main thing here I want to build is... I do have to connect it to power, though, so let's do that. Alright. Resource production is definitely on the move. In a positive direction. This is good news. This is good news. We do still need to finish the wall up here. If that goes there, then I have to... There? Alright. It'll definitely read. Then I have to clear this up. And then I want... I think we're gonna go on a murderous rampage soon. I want to clear out some space. Sure. Now, I know for especially myself, I am very behind as to where I would typically be as far as like actual progress. But I also know for me, this is a significant amount more resource input than I would typically have for a factory at this time. And we're about to start ramping that up even faster. Because now we have a very easy, like, built method of getting resources where we need them to be. Now let's just get rid of all. Let's get rid of Okay. I'm struggling to find places to put things here. That'll be the copper input. I just gotta get it there, which shouldn't be that hard. Perfect. There we go. That should be the full system built start to finish here. I just have to get out there probably to, because they probably don't have range on this. If they do, even better, but I don't know. How's our pollution looking? I'm curious. Yep, electric mining drills dropped right there pretty significantly from 2,700 where we were at down to about 1,000. Steel furnaces are still pretty high. Eventually we will, someday, correct that by using electric furnaces. Pollution's not a super huge problem, but it is definitely one that I want to manage. I don't know, I find it'll make my life a lot more convenient in the long term if I do. So, except on these sides where I already have walls put up, I don't really care that much anymore. Because, well, I should actually, because I don't have turrets. I should actually probably research laser turrets. That's a good point. Yeah. Have I not already done that? I have a laser turret. Alright. Very good, very good, very good. More copper into the system quickly. Our construction robots are all very, very busy, which is a good thing. It's a good problem to have here. So we love to see that. Next, we have low density structure being made. We have flying robot frames made. We just need blue circuits and we can start making yellow science and rocket parts. Because we do have what is this called again? Rocket fuel. So I'm actually going to start refilling this back out because right now I'm not making any rocket fuel just because I stopped the production. I stopped the solid fuel from going into it for a while there. Which we can now remedy that. So let's go ahead and make this a passive provider. And let's get these put back in. Laser turret's done. Let's go ahead and hit up mining productivity here. I don't think it's super important. Let's grab automation 3 because that will be very useful. I want a fission pack as well. Fission reactor. That'll be good to have for me. Speaking of which, do I have the... I don't have Power Armor Mark 2. Let's get that. Let's queue that, because I will want that. And uranium ammo is actually quite good. I will be probably doing that as well. You'll see the value of that later. And I know that it might be slightly concerning about the size of my factory at this point. And the fact that I haven't touched space yet, but there's the solve for that for me, and the reason why my factory is trying to scale up and not out yet, I'm not going to the other planets yet, is because I want a factory that builds the spaceship and fuels the spaceship as well. It's like a, yeah, that's just kind of how I prefer to do this. And since we're not on the experimental version yet, since that's not out, we can't have space platforms transfer items between each other. Otherwise, I would definitely do that instead. That'll definitely make this 40-hour speedrun significantly easier, and I'm excited to do that when that comes around in a couple, like whenever that update comes out. So I'll probably be doing this almost again, maybe in the long-term future. I'm not sure, but it definitely will change a lot of stuff. I'm excited to have that content available for us as Factorio players. I'm gonna bump this out. 20. When was them? Then more resources. Uh-oh. You know this. Let's get them more resources so we actually see more crafting upgrades. So Automation 3, these things are pretty useful. They're kind of expensive though, and I do mean, actually they're quite expensive. So getting Assembling Machine 3s can be a little tough. Is it worth in the long term? Yeah, of course, but it's going to be expensive to do that. The next thing I want to start working on that is actually going to be a huge deal, and I'm actually going to start one other process here that's going to be something to manage in the long term. Barrels. Barrels can be really tough to deal with sometimes because they're so hard to store in bulk. You running out of petroleum? What's going on? I should fix that problem fast. Like I was saying though, the challenge oh, I lost my train of thought because I was confused about that for a second. Okay. What was I doing? I'm gonna set up an array here. Because this is something I probably should have done early. Light oil cracking into petroleum. Probably should have done this sooner. But... And there's... And let's hook this up to the petroleum output. Right. Even do that without this getting fucked up? Whoa, hey, what's going on here? Why is there... What just happened? Oh, for fuck's sake. Hold on, hold on. What up? That should fix that. Oops. And then that should fix that. Right, heavy oil goes all the way through. Light oil will go all the way through when I'm done. That should be good. Okay, problem solved. Next. I can actually run it up through here. It should be fine. What a dumb way to do this. Hell yeah. That's not possible. Hell yeah. What an awful way of doing it. Alright. The next thing, actually, I wanted to do... Because these actually do produce a lot of petroleum, or pollution, and they do actually use a lot of power, so... I'm actually going to take all of these all these chemical plants and oil refineries, and I'm going to go ahead and stuff them with these efficiency modules for sure. Because they do produce a fair amount of pollution. Ooh, look at that! We're up to 7,000 copper plates. Let's go. Look at that. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. This copper is definitely in the system then. I'm also noticing that it's actually not moving at full speed. Which is fine. Cool. Good to know. But that should get petroleum, or light oil turned into petroleum, so that should keep the petroleum stockpile higher. And now I needed to go back to what I was doing here. Sulfuric acid. So, sulfur to sulfuric acid here. I'm actually going to probably double up on this. I can. We're gonna need more petroleum here. Run water here. That'll fix that. That doubles up on sulfur production, because we need to make a lot of sulfuric acid. Because I'm about to start making barrels and shit. And honestly, I'm surprised we even have capacity to make more batteries, to be honest, but I bet some of these are probably housing like thousands for some reason. I bet. No, that one was. I stopped it. That's okay. Cool, let's power this. Very good. That'll take care of that petroleum, or that sulfur issue, hopefully. Oil is definitely not a problem. If I need to start producing more oil, I can. Definitely. Definitely something to keep in mind. Electric engines are definitely getting made. I am going to do myself a favor here as well, though, and start limiting that. I don't need millions of these. Cool. Next. The reason why I was wanting sulfuric acid in bulk, larger quantity, I need to start containering it up. So this isn't something that I actually even started making yet, but I'm gonna have to make a couple of them, so I have to set that up. It's very simple, but the thing is, we're actually gonna need the new chests that you don't often use. These are active providers. Active provider chests, they force items out. If, for some reason, there is an item that is in it, they will send it anywhere else immediately. They just always force it out. Which definitely has its utilities for a couple of things, in particular, storages. Moving items into a larger storage network is one of those things to think about. Or whenever you have an item that you want to be moved, so it doesn't clog up. Barrels and moving liquid barrels is a fantastic example of that, right? So the problem is, if I were to like empty barrels here, or fill barrels here, and then empty them somewhere else, what could happen is that, like, it'll sit here as in the requester, or in the passive provider, and then the empty barrels won't move, and then eventually get stuck, and the system dies very quickly. So that's one of the reasons why we're going to be using active providers here. So actually, this one will be a passive. And then we will go ahead and fill sulfuric acid barrel. 120. We will need those shortly, because the next thing on the list is probably the most obnoxious thing that we are going to have to make in this game, this playthrough, and that is going to be blue circuits. I hate making blue circuits. I find it to be very taxing on any factory. It's just a tough one to deal with. Are we having any issues producing plastic? No? Wonderful. Let's make more. That should bump up production. Beautiful. Petroleum is definitely struggling, though, to keep up. For lack of trying, though. Either way, that should at least get that moving. Petroleum, good to have. And you know what? I'm going to do this in probably a very inefficient way. But to be honest, I don't really care. I want to do this in a simple way. We need... I'm just going to do it. I'm going to bite the bullet. This, about here. Boiler stuff. Water isn't even down here. I'm going to use regular oil process. This will do. And this just straight up makes petroleum directly, which we'll see. Underground pipes here to save me stress of having with this. Will it tax the oil a lot more? Yes. Am I going to be a lot more less oil efficient? Yes. But I think this will probably just be go from. You're just objectively getting a lot less for what you're doing. But this is a very straightforward way of getting what I need, and it also simplifies the process a lot. Which we need more petroleum in general. But could I build an array that does turn that takes all outputs from an advanced oil processing outfit and just turns it straight into petroleum exclusively? Yes, I could. Takes a lot of work, and I don't really want to do that right now. And I don't think oil output's going to be a problem. I mean, this thing is gushing oil pretty consistent. It's going to be... I mean, yeah, we're doing pretty okay here. This is the drain rate. I think we're... Alright. The next thing I want to do. I feel like they're just not getting enough resources. It's just they have to travel kind of far, I think. Are we full robot capacity? What happened? Weird. We're actually at 3K. Why that is? I mean, I did just kind of occupy a time to tell them to move these initial resources. I do see a bunch here. It's odd though. I'm surprised we actually managed to hit robot capacity. We'll see if that's... If we do, we just make more, right? Good, good. Red circuits are going to be produced, hopefully, faster, whenever. We're going to have green circuits being made, hopefully. I mean, we have a lot of these materials laying in process. Yeah, the tougher part is the farther away we get from the original factory, the harder this is. For them. Because they don't have resources readily available. Which can be tough. There we go. I think that'll get us pretty far. We may need to up the number of robots we're running right now. Which is a great problem to have. I'm totally okay with that. Oh, that's over the 10 hour. Okay. Next. Let's actually check on that red circuit production. Are we seeing a huge spike? We certainly are. I mean, our peak before was like 300, now we're closer to 400, 500, 600, doubled. As long as we can upkeep that, that's good. Next thing, and the annoying thing I have to do now. There's a reason why I left this giant space here in the middle, even though it doesn't really make a lot of sense. This is why. Alright. Active provider. Empty sulfuric acid barrel. Actually have Where she be? The final thing that we really needed to build on this. There goes. This is gonna eat Reed. And this is at the point where I probably will admit, yeah, we're gonna need a lot more. To move shit. So, start letting the robots start scaling themselves again. I'm also gonna go ahead and now start running down this line here and start placing all those roboports that I know that they want anyway. We're gonna need them if they don't have them right. So, because they're gonna need charging places at this point, it's just gonna become a large problem if I don't have those here shortly. Right now we're definitely at robot capacity, which is a good problem to have, I said earlier, but it's definitely a problem. But now we should self-turn on person sticks and make sure that I actually all of those red circuits up there. I want all of them. We're making hundreds of them per minute. Or we were. Well, the problem with that is there's not enough robots to carry the items to them, which is the problem. So I'll fix that myself. Our resource input is actually looking phenomenal right now. Now we just have to actually do something. We are going to be doing thousands of red circuits yet. They're bringing me blue circuits too, because we just started making them. Well, yeah. We can make no power armor Mark II. Where's that at? I didn't actually get it. Which I could now. Good point. One of the things about making blue circuits that we now get to enjoy is the making of utility science pack. There. That's a new one. Because look at that. Boom, boom, boom. It's all there. Utility science packs are actually a huge W for us because we actually need them for a few things. One of them is going to be robot worker speed. There's actually a lot of these levels that we haven't gotten yet. Because we haven't had yellow signs being made. Resource input should be really high. The only right now issue is the robot quantity, which is expected whenever you start to get to this large of a factory that you're going to start running into that problem. That's pretty normal. So we will take all these red circuits. We will love them and appreciate them right into this chest. Yeah. I'm gonna do this kind of like a bit. Our pollution's looking fair right now. Definitely CD. Love it. Although I could actually. Can you see anything on the outskirts of the factory that doesn't already? Should probably. That's usually your reason. That's pretty much it. Okay. Let's go ahead and put some speed modules in these. See this. Faster for source robot production. Yep, now we're up to 4,000 robots. That we're scaling very quickly. A couple of bulk inserts as well. Really just send it on these. Even funnier, make 2. Actually, just start slowly making speed modules as well. Actually, red circuits are a problem, which isn't surprising because I'm literally eating every single one. just over here seeing red circuits like powering that. Let's turn off that eyesore. Okay. But we do need to keep in mind that one of the problems that we were running into here really was just like getting the I think I should actually bump up that resource request, because like these guys are getting the resources they need and they're producing consistently. The ones up north aren't. They're just not getting the resources fast enough. We'll start to queue that a little bit for them. There. Should hopefully help them. How are we doing on the green circuit stockpile though? Are we net positive or net negative for green circuits? 1.9 versus 2.2. What's the current? 3,000 produce, 1,500 consumed. We are a huge net positive on green circuit. You know what that means. Are we net positive on copper wires though? No, they're huge net negative. Let's fix that. That's also going to be another huge draw on robot corner. Get back to work. I can actually. Yes, yes. Oh, I love it. These two in particular are just getting absolutely spoon-fed so many materials. Robot count 5,000. Oh, it's not even. I need a bulk inserters for the output, brother. It's so funny. Quest even more. 150 in this chest now. Give them a bulk inserter too while I'm at. Hell yeah, dude. I mean, we have 3,000, 4,000 flying robot frames in here, so I might as well start using. I'm dedicating 2.25 megawatts in my factory to just upping this robot count. Look at him flood out of there, dude. It's so funny. Up to 5,000 now. That's progress, if I've ever seen it. Yes, yes. I definitely think... I'm not, you know, you'll notice I'm not putting productivity in everything, and there is a reason for that, and most of that's coming down to pollution. I don't really want to fuck with that. Should I? Probably, yes. But to be completely honest, the factory as we see it right now will probably not stay this way. There will be a second recreation, a second rebirth of this factory, for sure. And that's going to come once we've done a couple of other things first. But I think at this point we've done well. Robots have gone from 3,000 to 5,500 in the span of a few minutes, and we're starting to hit net positive. Look at that, we have leftover robots. Wonderful, wonderful. I'm not producing any more circuits because I'm eating all of them. Just take it down to... Let these guys organically continue. But for now, I'll stop bleaching every red circuit in the factory. Are we net positive on these yet? From 7,000 to 16,000, we're consuming 12. Yes, we are. Meaning that we can actually double down on this, I think. Red circuits. I'd say that this is moving fairly well, and we're producing a ton of resources that we need. So this is good news. We'll start finishing up some of these technologies here shortly because I just started refueling these blue circuits. The only thing they're actually going to be used for as of right now is going to be these yellow science packs. So that'll get that sorted out pretty fast as far as the yellow science we needed. Okay. Oh boy. I think we need a break from that nonsense there. So what we're gonna do instead. Do I actually have explosives being made somewhere? I most certainly do, and in fairly large quantities. Yeah. Let's find us a fun little spot to do this in here. I'm gonna copy and paste this. I'm just gonna toss it up here, kind of in a really dumb spot. Just because I want to use it for my own personal. And by that I mean, the first thing here is I want explosive cannon. I want... what else do I actually start making? I think just the cannon shells will be good. It's really good. How are we doing on plastic? That's gonna start. That's net negative plastic if I've ever seen it. Is it a petroleum issue or is it just a capacity problem? It looks like it's not petroleum. We have 93,000. It's definitely not. It's a good problem. I can just like... easy problem to fix. Portable fission reactor done, which is actually a really, really nice upgrade for me, and I will be getting that probably just because I do want. Bring me some blue circuits. Bring me some. Let's see, structure. I'm gonna get me some uranium fuel cells because right now my robo ports are being powered by solar panels. Awful. Highly recommend getting a portable fission reactor if you can. I'll wait for these guys. Actually, I have rope. I mean, these guys should be able to do all the way. Trust me, I don't. Yeah. Go ahead and put down. Actually, we're up to 6,000 and they're all being used right now by the factory. Tough. What if that's a charging issue? Why are we not making any roboports? I feel like I'm not getting... Actually, are they being made at all? Because you can see the long queues here just to get a place to charge, which is part of the problem, too. Where's the roboport creation section? I mean, surprise, surprise, it's not. And I guess I go fix this. We're just needing to make more. We were going to start running low on plastic, though, but what I did fixed that, hopefully, so that shouldn't be a problem. And if that ends up being flat, because we did just like run out of plastic. Okay, just hopefully. All right. A lot of things moving and doing the same thing at the same time. Should happen. Did I limit the amount of blue circuits that I'm allowing them to? Absolutely not letting these animals, thousands upon thousands of them. It's good to have a stockpile. It's not good to hoard. Because, I mean, it's gonna take them a while to fill up anyway, if they ever do. I'm not trying. Portable fission reactor. This thing is so good. Because I mean, it takes up only it takes up a 4x4. But I mean, like these make 30 kilowatts each, but you're looking at an average of probably like 20 to 25 because they don't work at night, right? Because they're solar panels. But this thing just makes 750. It's very efficient. Because I mean, what 12 times 30? No, 16 times 30 would be like 540. Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to admit. 16 300. It's definitely under 600. Yeah, I mean, I had something under 600 to them. How are we doing? Why is the rabbit in the chair? What are we lacking here, Steelo? Missy, can you not be in my chair? Get out of here. Shoot. Rabbit jumped in my lap, basically. There's that resource bottleneck for green circuits I was expecting eventually. That's the new problem. I'm actually going to limit these really hard. I'm actually going to only set them to make 100 and store 100 if they even get that many. Because they do take a ton, absolute ton of green circuits. Alright. I should hopefully fix that problem for the long term there. I think at this point... What is next on my agenda? That is a good question. I think realistically I need to start moving to space. I think it just needs to happen. Fuck it, man. We don't have enough robots, and we'll just make more robots. It is what it is. I did just take the factory into the next stage by doing this, by doing the circuits the way I did. And that's challenging, for sure. Power Armor Mark II. Yay! Let's go ahead and fill that up. I'll need that for later, for sure. For now, it should be fine. So, next thing. I'm going to start making a ton of rocket silos. Oh yeah, at least like, well, I say a ton, quote unquote. This upper area that I put down earlier, that's what I'm going to use for it. So I want to start making rocket silos here. This is going to be very resource intensive. We should have all these resources on hand, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Start making grabby hands. We start making cargo bays. Crushers. Lots and lots of space platforms. Alright, that looks good. Ultimately, we are going to need more roboports. I think is going to be one of the problems we're going to run into pretty quickly. I think that might be most of the problem that we're actually experiencing in the factory right now. Is actually probably just a lack of roboports. Right now, we're kind of, our robots are not. We're over full capacity right now. We basically don't have enough room. We have no extra robots laying around to do shit. I think a lot of that is going to be charging space, right? I really do think that's going to be a lot of it. See, I have a feeling once I start placing down, once I force the factory to give me the things I need to make more roboports, we'll start to see an improvement here. It's trying to go net positive. It really is. My steel. Am I out of steel? Interesting. Why are my robots taking so long? I mean, it's because we're full. That's why. But still, damn. I'll just go pick up the steel myself to be. Keep bringing me every red circuit this goddamn factory makes. Where's my other steel foundry at? I don't remember where I put it. Right here. Yes, bring me the resources. Yes, yes. Bring me the resources I need to make you your utopia. Yeah, if it's definitely a one of those long-term things. Once you start to really scale up the quantity of robots you have, you really need to start throwing power into the robo ports. It's crucial. Having them not like wait in line to charge is very important. They need to be able to find somewhere to charge quickly, close to where they are going or where they currently are, and that is very crucial to this process. If they don't have that, you're gonna have long lines, and those lines mean that things get produced slower. But further, it's you have more robots occupying space when they should be not. You know, I mean, no, are we out of petroleum? Oh my god, I'm out of petroleum. What happened? Ow. I'm out of oil. I did burn through my oil. Hmm. Well. Hmm. That's a problem. That's a big problem, actually. Well. We will have to fix that effective immediately. Can't be running low on oil. I see a pretty easy way to up that. I'll go work on that. That should get us where we need to be. I'm just gonna go up there. There's like another oil deposit further north of here that I can actually hook up. Also gonna do myself the favor here and I'm gonna do myself the favor here. ahead and finish that wall building right there. Easy fix, theoretically. Takes a moment. I wouldn't say this is going to fix the oil problem, but it's definitely going to help. So we'll get that. I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to do a genocide. Sorry, I can't say that on YouTube. Well, maybe I can. I don't really care. It's not like I'm running ads on these. I am not monetizing these streams. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go do a total bug death in the south. When that train comes down, though, it's going to come down more often as well. I don't know if can I put like a radar here or something? Can someone come down here and do that for me? I'd like to be able to see up there. That'll help. Okay, yep. So next thing I'm going to be doing here is I am going to be making another tank. But we are just now finishing uranium ammo. This train should actually have a decent amount of oil on it, yeah? 36,000. That's a solid number. That wall's getting built as well. I keep the biters out for sure. Cool. Uranium ammo. So, uranium ammo. Gonna have some value here. Also, we are finally reaching... Good. This is why I wanted to build those extra roboports. As I told you, that problem was likely the fact that they didn't have a place to charge. We're like positive by 2,000 robots. That could also be because we're not producing any plastic, which means we're not producing any red circuits, which means we're not producing any blue circuits, which means we don't have to move any green circuits, but I digress. Very good. Next, I want to make uranium ammo. Pretty straightforward, isn't it? $50. That'll go good. in as soon as those are ready. What are we doing on the... Solid. Of course, right now things are much slower than we'd like, but that's okay. Another thing I need to start making ahead of time. Actually, did I ever make extra? I did. Good. I was actually smart enough to bet on that. That's probably what's eating so many red circuits. That would explain it. You know what? Let's stop that. Let's stop making extra nuclear reactors. I have 6 of them. That should be enough to get me pretty far. And these things eat red circuits like crazy. That'll probably help that process, won't it? That's funny. That is funny. Okay. That explains a lot, doesn't it? These things take a while. How are we doing on those speed motors? We're making a whole bunch. We have a good few. I do think it's probably worth at some point starting the creation level with something. That'd probably be worth. I'm gonna be able to this thing. Same here. What happened to force it? Put underground so I can actually move things. Get some rocket fuel for this back. Worker robot speed 4. Robots will be faster now. That's definitely going to help a lot of things. Time. Yeah. This is why fuckers are tanky. I also have like no. I mean, hell, I don't even know any upgrades. This is what upgrades can and should. So let's go. Might help in this endeavor. Oh, there's a rock. Oh, it's so over. There's a rock! There's a rock! There's another rock! I hate it here, bro. I really do. There's no way there was 2 rocks just right there beside each other. That's actually insane. Wow. Oh my. It's so fucking hard to see anything in this game. It really is. You fuck up. That is such a bruh moment, I swear. We're researching pretty slow. Actually, we're doing okay. We're running out of power. Are we down to 270 here? Why is 270 our new cap? What happened? Oh, maybe working. Output. I think that's the problem. Okay. That was a disaster. Fuck a shame. The whole factory just ran out of power? Oh, fuck. No, don't tell me. That was so fun. My bad for putting the pipe just a little too close. That's better. That's gonna add an extra 130 megawatts to the factory that was not there previously. I think that'll make it. Train? No science is being made. It matters. Good circuits. I know a lot of them are getting eaten by other stuff right now. Namely the space stuff I am queued for. But that seems to all have pretty much backed up. This to like... This to 100. Let me actually see my oil deposit yet. Worker robot speed 5, yay! Faster than ever. You know what? This... Because right now what's happening is that only this factory, this little oil area, only produces oil when this train is here. For example, when it goes, its little reservoir that it has that it can fill up fills really. The pipe contents. I mean, these pipes can only hold like what a time. If it's at the other part of the factory, like it's gonna fill up pretty quick, which is suboptimal. So what we're gonna do is we're give it some extra storage. Very good. Alright, back to what I was doing. Whatever it was I was doing. Right, I have to fucking get vengeance. For my failed attempt at killing the ape. Robots are so much faster. It's so good. Love to see it. Doesn't this thing have an equipment grid now? I forgot it has an equipment grid, bro. That's a fairly recent. Sick. So you know what we do? Give it its own. We should actually probably give it a shield too. Shield. Maybe not yet. I'll hold on to it for now. I don't have the other stuff I need to make that to do what I need to do. I need fuel. Robots actually almost keep up with me on concrete. I'm getting off the train track. That's scary. I don't know what it is about Factorio in particular. Like, I'm so scared of standing on the train track. This game. I just feel like it's just such a jump scare whenever a train starts moving your way or kills you that it actually just blows my mind how actually scared I get. Genuinely fear the train. The death is just so instant and it's unavoidable. At a certain point, if you're there and it's there, you're dead. It's just as easy as that. It's kind of, I mean, it makes sense, don't get me wrong, but it's still scary. Oh, we have like so much robot capacity available. It's just so good. I think really the problem is just that. Go grab that. It's kind of where I'm at right now. I need to do one other thing too. Obviously, this is not. That's going to cause more harm. Let's do that. I'm just kind of doing this first. Aesthetic. And that should... Well, at least we'll start getting more stored, if anything. I'll connect it up later once I know exactly with all functions as it is, but I'll let them build it, and from once they're done building it, whenever I need to start making. Apparently, I just don't have it. It seems to be causing slight problems. I should start making. Just out of steel. The best. And not for the best. Probably about time. You know? I'll fix that with this claim. Oil. Let's try this with ever so slightly upgraded. Oh, dude, I go down the big ones, it's nuts. Uranium ammo. I like how the explosion's green. It's kind of sick, actually. Yeah, uranium ammo. Upgraded. Done here. A minute. Realistically, I should just research atomic bomb. Let's be honest. I should just research atomic bomb and be done with it. Doesn't that require, like, a lot of shit, though? I don't know if they changed it or not. 5,000 space on. But I definitely think I should just research nukes and be done with it. That'd be so much easier. Wait for that upgrade before I fight. No reason to... Not the big one. 5,000 space science isn't that big of a task, but not something I... like a few hundred. That upgrade. Oh, I one-shot the nests now. Let's go. I mow these bitches down. Nice. Uh-oh. There. Hey, cat. I do. Start making the turrets. I'll go deal with them later, but right now. How far are we in? I feel like we're so far behind. It would be kind of funny, to be honest, if I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna get this achievement for less than 40-hour play, then I don't make the time. Really fucking. Then I just have to do it again, I guess. There's more streams for y'all, I suppose. Digging their... They already did, but they just aren't doing anything. Alright, well, apparently I actually need to start refining them. No, they just leave! Bruh. They literally come in here, destroy my walls, hit my... sound my alarm systems, and just dip. It's so funny. Unfathomable. Is there even any resources out here? Okay, there's iron. An iron source. One singular iron source. All this going farther south. I don't think that's the effort. But it is an option. I mean, honestly, it probably wouldn't even really be that challenging considering. I might need more ammo though. These worms, no problem. Oh, there's a rock. Fuck. God fucking damn it. Not again, dude. I can't with these rocks, man. I don't even think I can. I mean, I can. What the f... He's actually as fast as I am. I hate the rocks in this. They're just so obnoxious, and the driving in this game is so impossible. Maybe I'm just being a little bitch, but I really do dislike them. They're so obnoxious. I strongly dislike the rock. Fucking melee. Shit. And this guy is still chasing me. Those are one of the reasons why I don't like to mess with aliens if I don't have. Shame them. today. Isn't laser shooting speed like its own different thing? What are we struggling with? That. Sulfur. Oil. Steel and oil. Steel and oil. The primary problem. Sorry, my nose killing me. So I'm gonna get rid of all these just anymore are working on it. Do I have a stockpile by chance of electric? Of course not. That is. What I do have a stockpile of, though, is iron plates. I have a big one, too. So I think the answer to my problem here, realistically, is just to make steel. Let's just fix the problem. Just fix the problem. Sometimes you can luck out in the real. I mean, this is probably going to be a temporary solution to a more permanent problem, but this will do for now. But anything that puts, at this point, anything that puts the system. It's a definite capacity for. We certainly have the power to theoretically deal with it. Hopefully, takes 5 laser turrets to make 1 personal laser defense. That's it's just why am I requesting? Here's a fun question. What are we doing on, like, Space Platform Foundations? Probably one of the things that started to eat steel platforms, Space Platform Foundations, which is expected, to be honest, at a certain point. Now, we can... I'm kind of thinking here about what I want to do. I mean, I know for a fact that what started eating all of my steel was the platform. I'm gonna need a lot of them, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, today, like, I need the fairly more. I will start to cap them off the 100. I don't need thousands of. At least I won't need thousands of them time. I will later, but not right now. I'm actually gonna clean these. I'm gonna need. That's too much of a problem. Robots. They're pretty back, or they're pretty available, high availability at the moment. Any laser that we got. There shouldn't be that. Let's try this a 3rd goddamn time. Actually, one thing I actually do need to do before I get too carried away here is I need to come down here and tend to this oil section. Because this needs to be powered. Another thing to be fueled. Great. That does have, this system does have some resources stockpiled in it. I think it's worth moving it up, connecting it. This one's pretty easy. and this should connect up with the oil. So theoretically speaking, we should have double the capacity for actual advanced oil, which double the capacity isn't super important right now for me, ultimately, but you know, actually, it probably would be best if I just upgraded those to productivities, especially during my oil shortage right now, instead of efficiency. And I like having the efficiency because I want to reduce the pollution, but may just not be worth it. Where are these low temperatures? I'm not sure why they're not running full temp. That should help though. At least, maybe not at first, but bring those to temp now. Should be better. Alright, this thing's grid. Let's give it some shield. I need some batteries. Give it some... It needs batteries. Now, I will say my temporary solution to that permanent problem of using the iron is definitely getting used pretty quick. I'm turning the iron into steel plates here just to get it moving. That's gonna cause problems later for sure. Alright, let's move. This is like fucking the fourth fight between me and the aliens. Maybe I've learned something. Yeah. Let's go find out. Was me being intelligent enough to... I actually need to piece this one. Don't do that. No. We'll let the boys do that later. You guys don't need to do that. I'm just kind of getting those placed ahead of time here. There's this one here as well. Now to deal with these idiots. This is gonna be such a pain. Do I have weapon shooting speed pretty high right now? It's as high as I can get it. This way I have shields and I'm faster. So hopefully we don't run into too many problems killing these guys. And the lasers will help keep them lower HP. I just took so much damage. I think I shot myself on accident. This is going much more. I'm actually out of shells. I didn't bring enough. It's a pain. Or there's some extra in my cargo? No? Okay. It's fine. We're still making good progress. I can just gun down the rest of them, probably. Decent amount of bullets. The gun itself does a ton of damage. Yeah, total bug death. There's so much iron out here, too. I don't think I have enough ammo to kill the nest, unfortunately. Gunning down the big ones with this low tier ammo is suboptimal, it would seem. Surprisingly. What we do is we just... This is annoying, and it's gonna take forever to kill them like this. Because they're so fucking fast, it's nuts. How do I even compete with them? Get back here, bitch! Nice. Running them down. God, these guys are annoying. Alright. That'll do for now. Let's go grab more ammo. And then after that, I think we have a pretty solid case for having called this portion complete. I actually need to do one thing while I'm running, though. While I'm moving through, is I need to start placing down these roboports so that these guys can actually get out here shortly and start building everything I need built. Alright. That'll get that going. Watching them scatter to find a new place to charge is kind of fun. So this area should now be getting built. Yep, that's good. Here, make sure this starts getting built. We're not doing that much, though. We're just here to place the power lines. We're not here to actually build the fucking thing. I'm taking on a little too much responsibility there. Let them do all that. That's what they're for. Cool. That'll take care of the iron issue, which takes care of the steel issue. I need more ammo. I can request it on the tank here. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I don't even have to move from where I am, and I can focus on some other stuff at the moment. 200 uranium rounds and 100 uranium shells, please. Meantime. We need to start moving this here. Iron. Do I want to make... I think really I just want to copy and paste this and be done with it. I can even put it on the outskirts here. Is there power connected elsewhere to make sure I don't just lose my power lines when I do this? It looks like rid of it. Order this cleared. Alright, we have tons of steel backup now, which is great. Next problem it looks like I was running into is copper. Again, right? Because I was out of copper wires and circuits, yeah, and I'm out of copper plates. As part of that is the reason why that problem. Although, interestingly enough, I'm... I don't actually know if we're making these inserters in the factory or not. If we are, we need to fix it. If we aren't, rather. And this all needs to be upgraded. All of this is level 1 belt, which does not help us. That fix should be fairly quick. Is it possible for me to run a third here? Probably not. I think they weren't running up to full speed, which is why they were full. Okay, that's fine then. Should be good. I think that on its own should actually really help the copper production, because we should have the full belts moving at their appropriate speed. So I think that on its own is actually going to start bringing up our production. Slight uptick, but it's fine. Okay. Listing stuff. I want to get this steel foundry actually built, which means this one needs to get torn down, which is kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest. It is what it is. Let's start with just removing the chests. That's going to be the first portion here. The harvest portion here is removing the chest. That's going to take all the robots for a while, I think. But the copper seems to be moving much better now. Yeah, moving from 7,000 to 8,000 a minute. Not a huge difference, but it definitely is going to make a difference. Okay, next. I need to start moving... Well, realistically, this is the next large-scale project I have for these guys at the moment. And a lot of the problem that's going to be here is, like, this has a few hundred steel in each of these chests that needs to be removed, which is going to be tough to deal with. So what we're going to do... Also going to request... production robot. Just going to start activating this one here. Which will increase our construction robot load here. Definitely copper is the next problem. I can grab that copper source. That would be nice to get, but it's happening anytime soon. Honestly, this laser shooting speed thing can kind of die. I don't really care that much. Actually can't build the thrusters yet. are we doing on power? We're doing okay. Could be better. Great. We do have enough stuff to really start building the rocket silos. I'm gonna go ahead and toss them. Probably just up there is probably fine. Bad spot. Okay. These I will actually be putting productivities in. I actually should probably come down and start putting productivities in all of my science producers. I'm pretty sure I've done that for the other ones. Did I do that for the purples? If I didn't, I really probably should, yeah. They are kind of just expensive at the end of the day, right? So it would definitely benefit me a lot to do that. It's quite the process, those guys. This is going to be the new steel foundry setup. I'm just gonna I just want to copy and paste two of them, honestly, like right here and here. Done with it. But that's a good call. I'm also gonna put productivity modules. I really should be putting productivity modules in my green circuits. You just make so many. As much as I really don't want to do this, because again, I'm trying to keep my pollution fairly in check. The reality is it's just too... I probably should have done this like 3 hours ago. Oh my god, these are mass producing. I did not want... No wonder I'm running out of everything. Alright. Oh boy, I think the factory's in a pretty okay spot right now. I'm fairly happy with what we've done today. The only real thing I'm going to do now is I'm just going to clear out some clear out some space. Build a couple more nests. Probably call it there. We are, 13 hours into this gameplay. And we haven't gone to any of the new planet. Now, that may sound scary, and it kind of is. But we still have 27 hours to figure it out. So I'm definitely not that worried about it. As for now, though, let's just get rid of these fucking idiots. Tired of aliens, man. Oh my god, the weapon shooting speed is nuts now. What the hell? Crazy. Nice. That's insane. I might actually have to start making more shells because that actually was just so easy. But yeah, this is gonna give me iron access. Safe oil access. Actually gonna go farther out. I'm kind of curious what all's out here. I mean, I'm not really a huge fan of cliffs, but they do make favorable choke points if there's enough of them. Maybe. There's a bunch of rocks I just hit. Thank God I have the exoskeletons, otherwise I probably would have just died. There's too many rocks, man. It's impossible to see them too whenever you're running around so much like this. It's clear. Sector cleared. There's nothing really out there that I care that much about, to be honest. So I'm just gonna block that off right there. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the roboports I need to get that out to that point. Clean up this blueprint because obviously it went way over the water. Why is this powered off? Power should be here. If everyone's powered, great. We will build this shortly. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Oh, I just destroyed the power pole. Oops. Let's go. That actually connects it up directly into our new. Oh, my rope. I have to. Right now, it's saying we don't have enough logistics storage space. And I was just removing a lot of stuff, so it doesn't really surprise me that much. I definitely have to fix that. The factory ran out of power? Oh, what happened? Oh, oopsie. I know what happened. I forgot about that. My friends, do not forget that your nuclear reactors have an output. I got this. That'll fix. Oops. A fault. No. May take a few for these guys to get back up and running again. Everything should be back to normal shortly. That was an oopsie on my part. Just totally forgot about that. Y'all need a place to put stuff. You know what? I will let you guys put stuff. You know what about right here? Why not? Make a difference to me. Because they have a place to put shit. Okay. So these guys should start building this now. At least they should. I think the factory's still picking itself back up after that, because that was a bit of a disaster, but it should be. Your power's ramping back up. It's just gonna take them a minute to warm back up. It's unfortunate. That was my own fault, though. That's an easy fix at least, which I'll take as a win. Cool. So now the next thing I needed to do was I needed to, now that I actually have... Never really, like... Oh, anyway. These walls are getting built. I'll deal with this portion later, because I do want that copper. It's going to be pretty important to me soon. But for now... After my factory's warming back up again. Goodness. I actually wanted to get that secondary, that steel production. That was what I was really working on at the time before all that happened. We'll go 1. And... One and 2. We will let them figure the rest out. But this will be my my steel output here. Just gotta run it. The main thing is, do I have roboports on me? I do. Let me go actually help them build this shit then. Where's my tank? Oh, it's probably up there, isn't it? Right. Everything's looking pretty healthy right now. I'm fairly happy with where we're at. We definitely have some stuff to do, of course, right? Go help them. Why not? No point in having all these robots if I don't actually let them get used for the good of the factory, is it? The main thing I needed them to be placing was the robot. This is looking good. I just need to run this back home. I need to stay in the logistics construction network so they actually build the we'll just run it. Where's the actual input? Here. We'll get it to here. What? That's the actual input for the iron. I'm just gonna run it out. I know it's not like what I'm doing here. What I originally planned on doing, but it's fine. Just gonna make sure these connect up. I mean, eventually we will want like 100% RoboPort coverage, right? Eventually. But for now, I'm a little focused. I'll try to get this on here. Wrong way. sorry that this never got connected. Fucking rocks. Like it connected. Just... Okay. That. Right. Go. That connects that to that. Once those get all the resources they need, that'll be built. That's great. I have to do the other one, which is a bit farther away, which is a bit of a pain, but we'll figure it out. I don't really care if this one has to snake around a bunch. I'd rather just get it in and be done. Is there an actual... It looks like it does actually reach them. There we go. Now that's all within the zone, so that should get built over time. I can't say how long it's going to take for them to make this. But it shouldn't be too bad. I don't think it'll be that bad. And that should queue up everything here for this. Cool. It's going to take them some time, I think, to make all this stuff naturally, because there's a lot for them to make. But I can actually help them along with that a little bit by just going here, upgrade, upgrade, bulk, bulk, speed. I actually don't have enough iron gear wheels. That's funny. Am I out of iron? No. I don't have enough gear wheels. Okay. Well. Suppose I should fix that. Cool. Yeah. That should fix that. Am I not making red inserters? It's nuts if I'm not. I'm sure I am. Where? I don't know. I think it's just a resource shortage, which is fine. That's fair. Alright, and we're going to be fixing that soon. With the addition of this copper resource, that'll probably help. There's a little bit of copper here I could try mining, but it's probably not worth it. But at this point, I think it's a solid time to call it for the day. We are 13 and a half hours into this gameplay. We have a sizable factory. Is this the best I've ever done? I don't actually know. Normally, I leave the planet before this point. I think I left my last playthrough, I left the planet around 10 hours in. So definitely a few hours behind. But my factory is definitely significantly larger, actually. If we actually go to my last attempt at a quote-unquote speed run here, this is actually 13 hours 57 minutes in, so this is actually a great example. This is what I was doing on Vulcanus at the time. I had a pretty solid setup going, but if we look at Novus, look, it's so much smaller. It's so much smaller. Like, night and day. I mean, I only have 2,000 robots, 400 construction robots. Like, it is a much smaller factory. We can even just do a comparison. Like, my average copper per minute is 16. Oh, I feel so much better, actually. Holy shit. Okay. I was actually concerned, genuinely, because I was like, I just felt like I was so behind. But this factory was the one where I finished the game, was 38 hours in. And this was the factory at the same time, right? Don't get me wrong, Vulcanus was also producing resources, so you probably should account for that. But even so, even if you look at the global statistics for iron, right now, my global iron statistic for the last hour peaks at around 5,000, my copper peaks at 2,000. That's not even close to me. My copper peaks at 8k, my iron's peaking at 10. Like, I'm producing a ton more resources, which is gonna help a lot in the long run. Right now, I'm pretty much just using those resources to build more factory, which is fine for now, but it's getting to that point where I think that actually makes me a lot more comfortable. I thought I was actually really far behind and stagnating, even though my build was actually doing really well, and apparently it's actually doing phenomenal by comparison. I definitely gonna have to get this area cleared. I'll have to get this area built out, which is not going to be too difficult, I don't think, because they're already working on that right now. So I think the top-down Factorio gameplay is going fairly well. the RTS Factorio gameplay. I'll go through, I'll clear these up. Ideally, I want this copper resource too, or I would like if there was one around this area we can grab. I'll have to look. That'll be for tomorrow though, and we will go from there. Thanks for anyone who joined. It was a lot of fun. I definitely enjoy playing this game, and I think we're making, honestly, seeing that factor, I think we're making good time. So I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for joining, and I will probably be streaming tomorrow as well. So keep that in mind. I'll probably be streaming around the same time, and I hope to see you all there. Thanks.